Welcome to Realible World News.
My name is Dr. Richards.
And I'm Dr. Williams.
Thank you for tuning in for the weekly broadcast of October 23rd, 2020.
Make sure you subscribe so you can stay up to date with the most Realible news on the internet.
As we get closer to Halloween, we have some spooky articles this week. We are talking about Chris Pratt, crazy liberal agendas, and the spookiest article yet, the most offensive word ever.
You will not want to miss this spooky story. We will be discussing this word completely uncensored.
Before we get started, there's something I need to get off my chest.
Dr. Richards, you already told me about your vacation with my ex-wife, and I've already forgiven you.
No, it's not about that. It's something even deeper.
Wow, even deeper? Please do tell live on television.
When I was a little child, I got my innocence stripped from me.
Really?
Everyone has heard of the popular artist Crazy Frog, and everyone loves those crazy noises he makes. Bing bang bling bang ow. But I don't love Crazy Frog anymore. When I was a child, in the early years of YouTube, I saw his music video for Axel F, and he had his tiny little pee-pee out. His tiny little frog dingle was the first pee-pee I've ever seen besides my own, and ever since then, I haven't been the same.
Are you just saying he stole your innocence because you saw his little frog pee-pee, or did you personally meet Crazy Frog?
Here's photographic proof of the time I met him. His tiny little frog dingle ended up being way bigger in person.
I've always imagined him being like 3 inches tall, but it looks like he's like 6 feet tall.
He was gigantic, intimidating, and totally scary. Crazy Frog has ruined my life.
Wow, this sounds extra difficult because you can't even try to move on. You can't go anywhere without hearing Crazy Frog's music or hearing people talk about Crazy Frog.
Bang, bang, ba-dow. That noise rings in my head all the time.
Thinking back, that was the first pee-pee I also ever saw.
Did it have the same traumatic effect on you?
I'm not too sure. I bury my trauma deep, and it usually takes me about 40 years to figure out what is bothering me.
That doesn't sound healthy, but it sure sounds convenient. Maybe you'll teach me that tactic soon, Dr. Williams.
Thank you for sharing this spooky traumatic story live on television.
Let's move on.
You know what's even spookier than unresolved trauma? America's sweetheart, Chris Pratt.
Star-Lord himself?
In a strange move, Chris Pratt has released his new memoir, The Christian's Guide to Cheating. Christian fathers, Christian husbands, Christian men, it teaches them how to cheat the Christian way on their loving wives.
No one would know better than Chris Pratt. He is a textbook Christian, and he also loves cheating on his wife.
Chris Pratt is going to teach men how to leave the wife and make it seem like it's their fault, how to seem like you were religious the whole time, but cheating's cheating, right, Dr. Richards?
Cheating is cheating, but my favorite chapter in this book is the one where it explains how easy it is to ask for forgiveness and how quickly your conscience can be wiped clean.
Oh, 100%. Some people debate it's the only reason the religion even exists.
Religion is incredible.
Being able to absolve yourself of a guilty conscience is an amazing feeling, and Chris Pratt is a pro.
Man, I love cheating on my wife. Maybe I'll become a Christian myself. Moving on from religion to politics, there is this terrifying liberal agenda that might sway this upcoming election.
This one is a doozy. Liberal heroes all over Twitter are sharing around this dangerous belief, and it is getting into the news feeds of your children. The liberal agenda suggests that young adults should kill their parents, mail in their ballots for them, and commit voter fraud.
Killing their parents seems a little excessive. Couldn't they just write in their parents' ballots and mail them? Why do they have to kill their mom and dad?
You can't have loose ends. If the parents expose that they never voted and all this happens, the whole election is a fraud. You can't leave loose ends. I am terrified of liberal children. That is why I never had any.
Are all your children conservative?
No, I meant I am terrified of children, so I never had any.
I know kids inside and out, and I think that with how political our environment is, they would much prefer getting that extra vote for Biden. A dead dad is the least of their concerns. Speaking of kids, there's this new fad going around of adopting disabled children.
Wow, is this to do good in the world, or are there malicious motives behind this?
It's just so confusing to me. Imagine going to Walmart and shopping for a flat screen TV and saying, "Oh, no thanks, I want the broken one that doesn't work."
Can you go more into the story and enlighten us on why someone would even do this in the first place?
Of course I can. Let's look a little deeper. What's the most frustrating thing in the world? It's long lines at Disneyland.
I see. So they're adopting disabled children so they never have to go to Disneyland.
Even better, Dr. Williams. These adopted disabled children are forced to go to Disneyland whether they like it or not. But now the parents get to skip the long lines because of the wheelchairs.
Wow, that is an epic game of 5D chess.
Earlier you mentioned that you didn't want any kids, but I bet this changed your mind.
Do you think you get a good deal if you get more of them?
You probably do.
I will take 4.
Wow. Now that is an offensive, feel-bad article, Dr. Williams. Moving on. We're moving on to potentially the most offensive word ever.
If offensive, uncensored language disturbs you beyond belief, please exit this video now. But if you want to hear some live, uncensored language, stick around.
Holy crap.
I have been dreading reporting on this story all week because I knew it was gonna get down and dirty. Today, we will be talking about the most offensive word in history. Honky.
Wait, Dr. Williams. Hockey isn't that bad of a word. Hockey is a great sport enjoyed by many.
Dr. Richards, I wish I said hockey. I said honky.
Donkey? Donkey's not that bad of a word. Everyone loves the animal, the donkey.
Dr. Richards, I'm not talking Shrek. I'm talking John C. Reilly.
Oh my god, Dr. Williams. John C. Reilly? You said honky, didn't you? God damn it, Dr. Williams. You said honky. Never say that again.
But Dr. Richards, we have to discuss this story. We have to use the word. We have to say honky.
Do you know how many times I was called that growing up? Never say honky ever again.
You know what they say about honky? Only the honkiest of them all have ever been called honky. What does this mean, Dr. Richards?
Dr. Williams, my blood is boiling.
Sorry, Dr. Richards, but we have to talk about the H word today because the Supreme Court has declared honky the most offensive word in history.
Rightfully so. This word has caused so many tears.
The problem with this word and one of the big controversies behind it, Dr. Richards, is that some people say, in defense of the H word, that sometimes it is just the only word you can use to describe someone. I'll show you an example. Describe to me who John Mulaney is.
Well, he's a honky. Everyone knows that.
It even came to your mind before comedian.
That's actually pretty funny, Dr. Williams. Let me try. Describe to me who Dolly Parton is.
Well, she's a honky.
There you go. Maybe the word's not too bad after all.
We should address the elephant in the room. I've never been called a honky in my entire life. You, on the other hand... What I'm trying to say, Dr. Richards, is that if there was a, say, lunch table at a high school, and it was the honky table, John C. Reilly, Dolly Parton, John Mulaney, and you.
Maybe that's something I should be proud of. Honky first, doctor second.
Wow, Dr. Richards, you sure have an open mind. 2 minutes ago you were furious, and now you're enlightened.
I can now be loud and proud as a honky.
Wow, that was just heartwarming. Now on to the weather. Today's world weather, well, seems to be a little cloudy here, seems to be a little bit cloudy other places.
Dr. Williams, I made an incredible discovery this week. Did you know that when it's fall in the United States, it's not fall in the rest of the world?
Really?
Yeah, if we look at Australia or some of the other countries across the world, it could be any season. It could be summer, it could be spring, it could be winter. We really don't know, and it seems there's no way to predict it.
Wow, it seems like it's a little bit random. I, for one, see the world as one collective figure. That's why the world weather is way more important than the local weather. I haven't looked at the weather where we are in years. Anyways, less about the world weather and more about the world stars. Dr. Richards, take us away on the Astrology.
In this week's horoscope, we are tackling one of the most confusing things in astrology. Leonardo da Vinci, Leonardo DiCaprio, and many other famous Leonardos aren't actually Leo signs.
So why name your kid Leo then? What is Leonardo DiCaprio? What is his astrology sign?
His sign is Scorpio.
So why didn't his parents just name him Scorpion?
That's a good question.
It's a cooler name.
Scorpion is an awesome name.
What does this mean for the viewers, Dr. Richard? What would your advice be for them?
If you are having a child that is going to be born during the month of November, please begin their name with Scorpion.
Wow, that advice is life-changing, Dr. Richards. Before we go, don't forget to subscribe so you get Realible World News directly to your feed. And also give us a thumbs up if you also were traumatized by Crazy Frog's pee-pee when you were younger. Give this video a thumbs down if you were really okay with seeing that little frog penis.
Dr. Richards.
Dr. Williams, signing off.